In this universe,
in this galaxy, in this world, beneath the influencer clouds,
over the viral video fields,
off the information superhighway,
there are voices in the digital wilderness, whispering
more opinions.
If you listen,
you will hear. I am ready to come up fucking firing. I'm in a mood.
It's a good thing we're not monetized, because that would have got us demonetized.
Oh. Hi, everybody. I'm the Garbage Man.
I'm Alex.
This is Alex. Welcome to our show.
There's Ryan.
There's Ryan. Whoever else here. I was hoping Frank was going to be here, because I know Frank is a coach. He's coached kids. I don't know if anyone else, there's only 3 people in the chat right now, and I don't think Ryan sports very much, so I don't think Ryan is a sports guy. But
do you
this
consider
is why
drinking a sport?
This isn't, yeah, well, maybe an Olympic sport, I think.
Yeah.
I think that this is this isn't why I'm annoyed. I'd rather not get into sport, or got in high text. Guy threw me off. I'd rather not get into what's got me fired up, but this is one of the things I wanted to rant about, and this is just what I'm going to go off of. So, my wife runs a hotel in this town, and it has a restaurant in it. So I went there for dinner on Saturday night, and there was a hockey team in there with parents in the restaurant, along with these hump dumplings. Now, I know what you're going to say. What some people would say is, "Oh, Nick, these kids are just garbage, man. These kids are just having fun." Okay. And I am all about kids having fun when they're on tournaments. I understand that. I have been there. Okay. I remember being in lacrosse, having a blast with my friends in the hotel, but I mean, we were pretty chilled though, because things, of course, were different back then. Okay. I sat in that restaurant for about 10 minutes before I finally had to get up and go sit in the lounge, which I should have done to begin with, because there's no little crotch goblins in there. These kids were screaming and yelling and jumping on chairs and jumping over. There's a divide that goes between a walkway that goes to the lounge, and it's a half wall. These kids are jumping this half wall and screaming and yelling. And it's not like these kids are in the restaurant by themselves, and which would be a problem on its own. These useless douchebag hockey parents are sitting in the restaurant just chatting away. I was a football dad for 10 years. We took those boys. We never went to a restaurant. Our tournaments were always kind of quick and moving. But the boys, when we would go out to a restaurant after a game, we'd go to like a Dairy Queen, because they always took a bus, right? So we were moving. And if any of the boys started doing that crap, they would have got barked at. Like, hey, calm down. There's no need for that. We're in a public place right now. Stop it. Like, when we were in Edmonton, the boys were all in a hotel room, staying together. They got in crap because they were being loud. That's what happens. That's what should be happening. But when you're in a restaurant like that and you're sitting there, and I'm going to paint the picture for you. I think Alex might not get it. He will a bit. I don't know if you Tex and Bolo have seen this, but Ryan will get it. The moms are all wearing vests and Carhartt hats and the boots with the fluffies on it. So you just know you want to just throw water in their face, because their makeup will run and it'll just look like Jack Nicholson from freaking Batman. You know, you just know. And the guys are sitting there with their flat brim hats on, and just like and it is Control your kids. Just control your children. I don't think I'm asking too much. There's no need for children. Like, Alex, am I being that unreasonable by the request I'm throwing out there?
Well, I was about to answer you, but
No.
I think the presence of Casey has thrown it all off.
Hi, you're from Texas. You're a dummy. Stick a Game Boy game up my bum.
Sorry, Casey, that one's not going away for some reason. You know, I think it doesn't matter what day and age it is. Decorum in public places, restaurants included, should be observed to some minimal degree. So I think I'm with you on this one so far.
Okay. Now I will ask again. Ryan didn't sports. Oh, okay. So Chad's here, Tex is here. Casey likes to put video games up his bum, so he won't be in this. I think Tex and Chad can agree. And again, Alex, you weren't a sports kid, but again, if you had been out in a restaurant with Bruce and some of your friends, and we started acting the fools, what would have happened? And I'm not saying our parents would have doused us in gasoline and lit us on fire, or like, but it would have been like, I guarantee you, I know my dad, and I'm pretty sure George, I can say this, it wouldn't be a scene. It would probably, I would have probably felt the hand on the back of my neck, and it would have been, you better calm down right now, or I'm going to make a scene and you're not going to fucking like it. And that would have been it. That would have been the end of it, I believe. Because I know that's what my dad wouldn't have made a scene. He would have brought in really close and been like, yeah, stop, or there will be a scene.
I think going back to the 80s, in my case, if we were in that situation and my dad was there, he would have grabbed me by an ear, whichever one was closest to grabbing distance, and he would have pulled me out of there by my ear. And I can feel that pain right now. That's burned into my senses. And he would have told me outside the restaurant, probably in a hallway or just, outside the building, that either I stop or you're going in the car and you're staying there until everyone's done and we're going home, something like that. But definitely the ear pulling attention would have been part of that discipline. And that there's definitely a fine line with regards to child abuse.
Of course.
I would not see that as child abuse.
Not at all.
Then I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm being abused. Oh, I'm the victim and stuff. And looking back on it now, no. It's discipline. It's trying to get a hold of a kid who doesn't know how to get a hold of themselves. Yes, Casey. Yes. Good one. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Hell to pay when we get home. Yep.
Yeah. And go ahead. Go ahead.
For me, it would have been in the corner for half hour out, no, not an hour, that's probably an exaggeration, 20 minutes and a half hour, or in your room. I don't think there was ever the no dinner threat. Maybe there was once or twice, I can't remember for sure, but something to the degree that I would remember next time. It's that installation of think before you say something, think before you do something. Oh, yeah.
So for Texas comment, the next one there. Nothing wrong with court. Okay. I do have a problem. If you're UFC punching the crap out of your child, there's a problem. There's nothing wrong with catching a swan on the ass if you're acting the fool.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
One of the differences between discipline and abuse is where physical pain is inflicted by the person because they like to do it. There's some kind of reward in the mind of the abuser. That's part of why they do it. And they use discipline as the excuse to inflict the pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna with Red's comment there. I'm gonna say you'd be reading too much in that, Red, because that's a comment here. You know, spare the rod.
It's a saying.
It's a saying, Red. He's not saying that he hits his kids with a rod. That is, but I think that is a huge problem these days. I just saw a video. And maybe Brian has seen it on Instagram. If anyone has seen the Instagram video, this kid's just screaming, right? And like he's holding his mom. She's like, "Do you want a timeout? Do you want a timeout?" And all I'm thinking is, yeah, timeout an emergency, because like I would like just let him. Actually, see, I think funny thing is, I think what my mom and dad would have done would just let you go and hit the ground. I'm like, okay, you know. Oh man, so I follow this girl on YouTube. Everyone assumes I thought she was Irish, but she's not. But she's half Mexican, like her mom's full-blooded Mexican, and her dad's a white boy. And she records like the reaction. She's like a 21-year-old girl, and like her mom's reaction when she does stuff is great. When she starts cussing her out in Spanish, and this poor girl's like, like it's amazing. Yeah.
I think he made a misspelling, but I'm not going to play the clip. I just give them the A. That's what he meant to say.
No, he meant I.
No. No. Oh, you ruined the joke. All right.
No,
thank you to Kelly for.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you to Kelly for liking us on Facebook. I wonder if he has an opinion on this.
If Kelly is watching, I hope everything's going good in Edmonton, my friend. I've heard before, because I game with Cat, and I've heard Bolo cuss the kids out. I love it. I love it. Because he does have a very, very thick Mexican accent. I love it. I love when he cusses the kids out. Like I said, if you talk to Alma, you can hear it a little bit, right? It's not like, but Bolo, oh, he don't give a fuck. I love listening to Bolo talk. I love it. So yeah, I think that's a big problem. And I'm not going to be that person that's like, oh, maybe if we disciplined our kids more, we wouldn't have so many of them, you know, gays and stuff. No, not at all. Because that's what everyone says. Well, if we took care of that, I think to be a lot more respect. That's a huge thing. That I would have never dreamed of cussing a parent out. Or if I did, I'd be like, well, I hope they don't know my dad, because I'm going to be in crap. Because it doesn't matter what the parent did, unless there's a very, like, I've had an incident that I won't dox anybody on here, where once my dad found out what happened, things changed very fast. But so that is my opening tirade to start our show, and I'm glad the 8 people are still here after I've done my tirade. Yes. Thank you. But we do have to go on another one. Do you want to go right into that video?
The English one?
Yes.
Yeah.
English.
You know what? Before we do, I keep forgetting to bring this up, that Big Red has something against the Irish. Maybe she's just trolling in the comments, but I don't understand Big Red, because I think the Scottish and the Irish should be against the British. Yeah.
Oi, governor,
What?
I don't know.
Me neither. Anyway, sidebar, just getting that out of the way. Yeah, now she's going to call me a wanker. Yeah.
You fucking wanker. Yeah, suck my chugger. Dab, dab, dab.
Yeah, call me Jimmy. Yeah, call me John.
Yeah, gross.
That's from Mallrats. Remember Ben? Did you ever see that movie? Yeah, Ben Affleck when he's going on that chick, and he's like, "Call me Jimmy."
I liked that good sound. Couple good songs on that. Bubbles is on that soundtrack.
Yeah,
Bush.
Yep.
He's forever blowing bubbles all the way. Great song, guys. So
yes.
That's not my song, but download that song, "Bubbles" by Bush.
Moving on. All right.
Anyways.
So Nick sent me a video, and I thought this was very interesting a topic. And of course, I myself can't comment on it, but I'm going to present it, and I'm going to let Nick do all the conversating about it.
The burying.
Yes. And here we go.
Because I drink too much red wine and I don't exercise enough.
That's not true. You're not fat because of what you eat and how much exercise you do. That is the line that everybody is led to believe.
Left you now and ran up and down Leicester Square for 3 hours and then went home and had a piece of lettuce and then came in and did the same tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. I would start to look like a supermodel.
So, with what he has said so far, maybe he's simplifying it, but I think what he's basically getting at is incorporating more exercise and choosing to eat more fresh food may lead to a difference in weight. What say you?
If anyone that's been following the show, I don't know if it's as noticeable in the last year, but definitely in the last 3 years. I've lost 100 pounds. I've lost over 100 pounds. When I got up, now this was also been a 15-year voyage journey for myself. When I got off the highway, I was 400 pounds. Like legit 400 pounds. Okay. Through a lot of exercise, and I had to, because guess what I got? Because I was a fat pig. Diabetes. I got diabetes. So with a bunch of starts and stops, because I got hurt. Like, I've been a steady person at the gym for 8 years now. I know you'd be like, why aren't you more skinny? But pizza.
Is he talking about plush?
So for this person to say that what she's saying, well, the start is wrong. It's all wrong. But I'm a prime example of how exercise, you lose weight. When me and Kim got together, I was in a size 48 jeans. I'm now in a 38 to 40, depending the brand of jeans.
Thank you, Brody.
Or not quite half, but so yeah, yes, that's what he's getting at. And exercise, yes, it does work. It does work. Don't tell me it doesn't. Okay, anyways, continue, because this woman's gonna bury herself bad.
And to be clear, with regards to exercise, consistency is part of, or at least one of the keys. It's not the key, because you have said in the past that you were very active as a teenager in high school,
but I was still big.
Yeah. So there's something more to that. Now it's person to person.
Mm-hmm. But it's also genetics. I'm not going to completely. I'm not this person. These self-pitying assholes you see that go online and be like, "Oh, mommy, daddy were so big, so that means I'm fat, and that's why I eat so much of my trauma." I might come from bigger people. That is the nature of the beast. Okay. But I refuse to believe, Red, that there's absolutely no exercise that'll help. Movement, some movement. Sitting there with a leg that is so big. Like, this is the one that always got me because we watch My 600-Pound Life. He's got such a huge growth on his leg. He uses it as a table for his pizza. Oh, just wait, Chad. This gets better, dude. This gets better. Okay. I would be a lot further along, but I will admit right now, and I've said this before, and I've said this is why I applaud Alex, because he is focused on what he can eat, knows what he can eat, and doesn't eat it, and he has the willpower to not eat it. Prime example, today, some asshole brought in Halloween candy into the shop, into the lunchroom. I almost got out of there, and then I saw they had Reese's peanut butter cups. So So Daddy had one Reese's peanut butter cup and then ran away. So, and that being said, is I went to the gym and worked out for 50 minutes afterwards. That's why I was like, okay, I can have this because I'm gonna burn it off like almost immediately. Right? I went to the gym. So, what a second.
To jump in with what Big Red is saying, there are some conditions that no amount of exercise will help. Now, I have done no research into what I'm about to say, but I have seen people say it in forums and on the internet, something to do with the thyroid. And I don't think that's an excuse. I think there are just some genetic or health barriers to losing weight and keeping it off.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt, dude. Like, okay, yeah, I was an active kid. Again, none of the guys I played hockey with and stuff are here, but like we were always playing hockey and baseball and do it. But here's an example. When my dad made hamburgers, it was ground beef. And we'd have veggies and stuff, but we'd always have a bag of chips with it. So if you got rid of the bag of chips, it would have been better. Not saying it's best because it's still we had white bread because we were a white bread house. Only time I have white bread in this house, which is very, 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 very rare. The one I think I just bought one about 3 weeks ago, and before that was probably 8 months before that. I like the sesame seed white bread to make grilled cheese sandwiches with. It's just a vice. I like it. So, yeah, that's the same as the big fat chick on TikTok with all the ramen in front of her that says, "I'm usually just a one bag girl," and that little kid comes up, "A bullshit, a bullshit," because this girl makes me look anorexic. Yeah, you want to know what I would look like in a dress and stung by a bee? There you go.
And this is for the benefit of Bolo. There it is.
Wrong.
I don't mind a good white bread, but again, I can't because it's just garbage. If we have it in our house, we actually buy a rye bread from Costco, full of like multi-grain shit in it. We don't eat, and now I actually found some keto-friendly, sugar-free wraps that I have on my lunch with turkey and cheese, and they're great. So my lunch here's an example. Like my lunch consists almost every day of a thing of vegetables, like either a whole pepper or a whole cucumber or like a tray of carrots. Like, and I always have a little bit of like calorie-wise dip with it. Of fruit, whether it's today I had 2 mandarin oranges or a banana, and then a wrap, and usually like a protein of some sort. No casein, not cum. That's what you have for your protein. So, anyways, let's continue with this Dr. Jabba the Slut and hear what she has to say.
Ooh. Okay, now you got to listen very carefully to what she's about to say. There's a lot of nuance in here that she's not touching on. And this is coming from someone who is not a doctor, nor a nutritionist, nor a personal trainer, nor any post-secondary education whatsoever when it comes to any of the aforementioned topics. And white bread, when I was a kid and my parents made sandwiches for me, this is like when I was really young, it was always brown bread, which I appreciated. And whenever I bought bread at Costco in my 20s, it was always multigrain. I don't think I ever went with the white bread, but the few times I did buy white bread, Texas toast, specifically for French toast.
If you're going to do it right. Yep.
Hey, Dad. Just to break the mold.
Nice. I bet you if Mom makes it with the proper stuff, and which I don't know what she makes, but it's probably a lot better for you than the stuff that's made by the big machines, right? I would like to gather.
You won't, when you're in America, you don't need to eat like the clumps, you just need to eat, and it will be like eating like the clumps in Canada. Yeah.
Yes. So
nice. Good, Tex. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, animals that are hunted in the wild. I'm not going to say studies show, but studies show that animals that are wild, that are hunted and eaten, are far healthier than factory farmed or
Yes,
factory raised.
and I would like to think, Alex, that we could safely say in an assumption, when I know what they say about assumptions, but there's less hormones, especially if you can get one that's like out in the mountains or somewhere where there's like no garbage or pollutants. That's gonna be some really good meat. Like that, like, you know, and I'm sure what Tex is bagging, if it's not his own animals on his own farm, if he's out hunting, that, you know, he's getting these things out in the prairie and whatnot. Like, these are going to be really good grain-fed animals that are going to be absolutely delicious and good for you.
Yeah, because they run around and they probably run at top speed trying to get away from predators.
Oh, and that's what I'm not saying that, Bruce. I'm just saying what mom uses to make it. Like, there won't be as like the additives that if you were to buy a loaf of bread from the store. I can't ever imagine someone making a loaf of bread that's not delicious, because freshly made bread is good. When it's still warm, so it melts the butter. Oh, I shouldn't be talking like this. When it's still warm and it melts the butter. Oh, great googly moogly. Anyways, focus to Jabba the Slut. Or sorry, Jabba the Fat. I can't call her a slut because I don't know. So Jabba the Fat. Go ahead.
Okay.
Only for a few months, and then you would stop. In fact, you would start regaining weight within the first year. That is a fact.
Stop. Yes, tons of fun. You're going to regain your weight if you don't continue to exercise and eat properly. Ding, 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 ding. Wow, who knew? Who knew that if you did all this weight loss and then started eating like a pig again and unhealthy again, that you would gain it all back?
Yeah.
The hell you say?
There's something about people who go on diets that are drastically different from the regular foods that they eat. Sure, they can sustain those diets for a while. However, when they fall off that wagon, they fall off it hard. And that is part of the reason for the regain of weight that was lost and even more weight. I don't know the studies about the human body trying to save energy because of ancestral needs and trying to keep warm or stay at a certain size. You know, in colder climates, the body naturally, I think, keeps fat around the midsection because that's where most of the vital internal organs are. Now, I'm just parroting stuff. I didn't come up with this on my own. Like Joe Rogan said, a lot of the smart stuff that we say has been figured out by smart people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, continue.
That's not fiction. That is an absolute fact. And there is literally no evidence that weight loss is going to benefit anybody's health, whether they're a child or an adult. And
I know people, I've read of people who their diabetes is gone because they've lost the weight. And their blood sugar was able to regulate itself again. They got off insulin. If you ever, there's a DDP story. I think Brody actually showed it to me about this guy who was on crutches, who was now able to walk, and not only able to walk, but was diabetic and is no longer diabetic because he lost all his weight, all this weight he had. Was that the guy? I know there's a guy who's like off all his medication. You know?
Ooh, Velagio bread.
Yeah, but read what it says.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oof.
Yes. Sorry, what Brody said. Thanks, Brody.
Exercise with diet, increasing lean muscle. Yes, lean muscle. Lean muscle is more dense than fat. It's also more compressed, takes up less, let's say, square footage. Or no, let's go with cubic footage. I don't know, 3D model. Happened to
Okay, go ahead.
willing to stake my medical career on the fact that that the lies that we've been sold about obesity, especially childhood obesity, are not true. They are there to benefit the weight loss industry, not to benefit children. Evidence is very...
So there could be some truth to what she is saying with regards to the weight loss industry peddling misinformation simply to make sales. I am absolutely willing to believe that. Absolutely. Yes, exactly. Now, Chad, someone who is not a fan of weightlifting would bring up the same impact on joints and ligaments with regards to repetitious lifting practices. So,
Look at Ronnie Coleman.
yeah, well, and Coleman's an extreme example because of his then profession. Like he won the Mr. Olympia, I think 8 times.
Yeah.
And when you look at the size of the guy, and I'm going to quote you, he did all the steroids in the world. So that affected his joints and his health overall, probably enlarged his heart. Probably, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Disturbing and dangerous. To dismiss exercise, that is disturbing and dangerous. I mean, we don't have to be active on a level like Ronnie Coleman was.
No.
Like even me, I've been lifting since I was 13, and I don't think I went above lifting 4 days a week. And even then, that was probably too much for me at the time. Activity, like most other things, done in moderation, can be done minimally once you have built up to doing it on a regular basis. Like myself, for example, 2 days a week, that's all I need. I've figured out, I've finessed how to do it well, and to try and stick to, for lack of a better term, diet. It's not exactly a diet. It's just pushing away other foods that I know are not going to benefit me. Go swimming. Are you talking to her, Brody?
Okay, let's finish this.
All right.
Very clear. Up to 98% of people that attempt weight loss will have regained all the weight within 5 years. That is up to 98% of people, and that is absolutely unquestionable. Second thing, this idea that energy in and energy out and energy calorie deficits.
And that's where it ends.
Okay. She just said energy in, energy out. I'll tell you right now, I have a ton more energy now as a guy who is under 300 pounds now compared to a guy who, when he was at 400. I remember coming home from even the sawmill after I had my hand surgeries, I was up to like, I think 380, 390. And after the mill, I'd have to have a nap because I was exhausted because I was running around the mill all day.
Yep.
Like now, like we'll take example for today. I didn't sleep great last night. I just tossed and turned last time I looked at the clock, it was like 11:45. I was up at 6 o'clock for work, worked all day, went to the gym worked out for 50 minutes, then came home, had dinner, showered, and watched I think a little bit of a show with the wife, and I came down here. And I'll probably go upstairs and watch another TV show with the wife and probably be up till probably about 10:30. There's no way that I could have done that back in the day. And I'd like to know where she actually got her doctorate from. I would really like to know. And just to know not to take advice from anybody that goes to that school.
I would like to know who she is, what her title is, like what specialty of health she is in, what field, what department, what she's citing. I need to see the sources of that, where she was saying 98% of people who go on the diets go off and regain the weight. I need to see the specifics of those studies. Yeah. Absolute specifics.
Yeah. And yes, Brody, I know you're stepping away for a minute. If you're still here, I did drop, and it looks like it's going to be an awesome game.
Nice.
And again, like I said, yeah, you're gonna regain the weight. Everybody knows that. That's what happens. And I was told that from my dietitian was when you stop, like, so I'm forever now and forever going to be fighting to keep my body from wanting, because my body wants to go back to 400 pounds. It's always going to want to for the rest of my life. So which means I'm going to have to fight every day to keep that from happening. So yes, that is going to happen. And one of the gym, when I worked out in the old gym, there was a guy in there. It was one of those, I can't remember. It was a Saturday. It doesn't matter. It was like 10 o'clock. It was early, and there was me and him and his wife in there and someone else. And I remember I had my head down, and I would just, it was one of those ones where I was going hard, and I was wearing a hoodie, and like the sweat was pouring off me, and I was like, I was really breathing heavy, right? Because I, get your heart rate up. And I looked over, and he was standing looking at me, and I was like, I think it's enough of this shit. And he's like, you know what, man? If it was easy, everybody would do it. And he's right. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Just like what Ronnie Coleman said, everybody want to be a bodybuilder. Ain't nobody want to lift this heavy ass weight.
Weights. What does he always say when he's about to go? Yeah. Was that what he says? Like,
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Lightweight.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, just watching him. What a specimen. Mm-hmm. Like, poof. Good, great googly moogly. Yeah.
And change the lifestyle, lasting results. Going back to what Nick was saying, the body wants to get back up to 400 pounds. So consistency with regards to diet, fighting the craving, staying away from that food that you want, that probably help you get up to 400 pounds, sticking with the gym or whatever physical activity you do on a consistent basis.
Yes.
Consistent.
And see, and that's the thing, when you got to stop making the excuses. And I still do it. I still eat like crap. I do. But I've said this, but I'll own it. But here's the thing. I was sick last week. Like, I got sick. I caught a bug in my stomach. Like, it was horrible. I caught it Tuesday and I'm missing work Wednesday. But I didn't go to the gym at all. Okay? Saturday morning, because I was feeling better, guess where I was? Gym. It's time to make up for lost time. Sunday, in the gym. Today, gym. Tomorrow, I'm not going to the gym because it's going to be a day off. Because the way I do this now, because I always put a little bit of because you've already gained it to be 595 pounds, and now that you're only 437, it still wants to go back up to that first weight that I said. I can't remember shit, but I love you, Chad. You know that. But that's the thing, is so this is my system now. First day I screwed up and I mixed my days up though. It's supposed to be back tries. No, chest tries, back buys, shoulder. I always like to space my shoulder and my chest workout. Well, I screwed up and I did chest yesterday. So my shoulder exercise wasn't super heavy. Well, I don't do super heavy anymore, but it was a little lighter than usual because a little tight today. But tomorrow's going to be a day off. And then, but what I've started to do, and I'm trying to get this through my son's head, and I would give this advice to anybody. Start looking ahead of your week and try to figure, okay, what do I have for the rest of the week? Do I need to maybe squeeze a couple more exercises in because, say, the weekend, I'm going to go do something and I'm not going to have time to work out. Most of the time, if everything works out for me, I just do my workouts during the week, and I might jump on my old bike here and go for a spin, a little pedal, for a half an hour on a Saturday. That's just it. So, I bet you do. You sling some of them bales. Oh yeah. Hey, yeah, no doubt. I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Landscaping, construction, moving. Yeah. You want to make money and stay in shape at the same time, or at least get in some form of shape. There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I remember back in the summer of 2002, I was with a landscaping company for 2 months. And then I show up in Mackenzie in December. I go to see you at your trailer. You open the door, and there was no span of time between you opening the door and seeing me and saying, dude, you lost a lot of your size. And to your credit, yes, that was true. And part of that was due to all the 10-hour days, 7 days a week at the landscaping company.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, yeah, that's the kind of information that's out there right now that people, and they justify it. We got to stop this craziness of praising morbidly obese people and saying it's beautiful and healthy. If you're into that as a fetish, then that's your thing. But to tell people that is a healthy lifestyle, you were wrong in spreading misinformation. To me, just like, because these people will be the ones that, you're no different than Fox News spreading bullshit. If you want, because like, yeah, she is fake news all day. All day. And this is what, like, but I think also in this cascades into other different things. This is the way life has changed, though, because for most of us, I think most of us had a mom that was home when we were kids. For the most part. Most of us. So for the most part, we had home cooked meals. Now with the way parents are having to work and people are on the go all the time, a lot of people don't have time to do that anymore, or they don't feel that they have the time to do that because they're exhausted. So it is easier just to grab a Happy Meal. It is easier just to order a pizza. But that's a dangerous, slope that we're going down. Mm-hmm. And we're all there. We're there. We're not even going down it. We're free falling down that thing like Buddy and Black Sheep. Like Tommy, like not to say Tommy Boy, but like whatever Farley's care. What Tommy Boy 2, where he's falling down the hill and he's like, he gets up, he's like, stay strong, little tree. Like we're falling down that hill.
Yeah. So. I kept this up because you know what, Big Red? You're dangerous. Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome song by Roxette. Dangerous.
Wrong.
Hey, my wife still uses the slow cooker. It's great. It's awesome. Love the slow cooker.
And one more thing before we get off of this gravy train of exercise versus loving yourself at any size, which, I'm not going to shame anyone for being that size. If they want to be that size, fine. I see people in the gym who are that size. I don't look at them and say, oh, why are you here? I'm like, good. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're taking up the real estate and being on the cardio machine or lifting the weights. It's great. I love it. With regards to diet and exercise, making that change, it's always looked at in incremental bits, not the huge turn from sitting on the couch and eating the Cheetos to all of a sudden I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. With a lot of people, that's not a sustainable model. They will crash and burn from that. You got to make these little changes. It's just like looking at a character arc in a story. The character starts in one place, and we see how over the course of the story that they change into somewhere else. So they've gone through a complete arc. That's what you have to do with regards to diet and exercise. Little changes so that not only your body, but your mind gets used to these changes. The mind changes faster than the body. You can change your mind on anything in 10 to 20 seconds. Your body can take a few weeks or a few months to adapt to these changes that you want to see. So consistency, slow change, sticking to it. I go to the grocery store twice a week, and I'm walking by the baked goods aisle and section every time. And I think to myself, it's Christmas time. I don't have to be outside in not tight clothes, but clothes that show off. I might want to go for that, but I don't, because I've never been ripped at Christmas time. But it's just something to look forward to or to attain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then I also, okay. So I want to get this out of my mind for. I saw a meme once, and this nails it, because I myself, as a bigger guy, all the gyms that I've been, all the gyms that I've ever been in, I've never had anybody laugh at me. I've never had anybody point at me. it's kind of like, to me, like, I'm sure this has happened, and I know I've seen pictures and videos of people being ridiculed, but it seems like it's a once in a very few times it happens. It's kind of like the whole Merry Christmas thing or Happy Holidays, that it doesn't happen as much as people claim it really does, right? That's in that Chad just said it, right? But this meme nailed it, and it said making fun of somebody, a fat person, for being in the gym is like making fun of an alcoholic going to an AA meeting.
Yes.
Like, it's the same thing. Yeah, that big person there that you're kind of going, whew. But most people, I'm one of those people that, I mean, yeah, I'm still a big dude. Not nearly as big as I was, but our gym is super supportive. And I've actually had the girls that run the gym tell me that there's the 4 guys that they call us the OG guys, that everyone says that we're super helpful. You know, like, we show, like, I may not know may not look like I know what I'm saying, but through the help of Hulk, that's the guy that's at the gym with me all the time, I've learned proper techniques for lifting and using things, and I have helped other people. And it feels good. Like, I remember watching this kid, I think I showed you, he was doing bicep curls, and he was like holding his arm up here, and it was horrible. And I remember, like, okay, no, come here, and you got to put it into your arm. You're going to do it that way, and then like this. Right. And he's like, oh, I said, yeah, you can't be loose, because he was up on top of his quad. Like, if you're going to do it that old school way, you got to be in to your leg. Right. And extend. Right. You know, it was, and like, yeah, but yeah, I've never had that experience. And if anyone has, I'm sorry if you've had that experience.
Yeah. And I'm with Brody. I'm thinking good for you as well when I see someone like, absolutely. I'm glad you're here. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, and the person that never gets off the couch, I'm not going to say it's the same mentality for everyone who's on that couch, but some people have the self-defeatist attitude that prevents them from getting up off the couch. They destroy themselves from taking that first step.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, and Brody will like this, because me and him are both, Chadney too, such huge Eddie Guerrero fans. In Eddie Guerrero's biography, or his video from WWE, he talks about how he's an alcoholic and then a drug abuser. And he says, if I look at it like, oh my God, I need to not touch alcohol or drugs for the rest of my life, that's a daunting task to look at. If I look at that, it's like, oh my God. But if I go day by day and just think, I just got to get through today. I just got to get through today. You know, don't touch this stuff, and I'm going to make it. And I don't know if Brody will remember that. I don't know if Chad will remember that. But, yeah, you just have that mentality of like, I just got to get through today. You know, and I'm the same as you, walking through like the grocery store. Because we always go by the snacks, like the baked goods. My wife can have that stuff. That's on me to be better. Again, example, we went with friends to Lethbridge on Saturday. We stopped at a bakery on the way home. They all grabbed sweets. And I'm like, I need something from here. Like, I just feel like I want to have something. And I just had a pepperoni stick wrapped in like a cheese bun. It was about that big. You know, again, it's not great, but I didn't have a donut. I didn't have and their donuts are awesome. Coaldale Bakery. Oh, Brody will attest. Great food. I didn't have any. They just had a little pepperoni stick. Well, that big. That's, you know, considering what I could have got from there, I thought I did pretty good.
So I left this up for a reason. And when I say this out loud, Brody, and I hope you're listening, I think you'll realize where grammatically you went wrong. What about the guy who sits on the couch and thinks about going Chad? What does going Chad mean exactly? How do you go Chad? How does one go Chad? What is the process by which going Chad happens? Please let me know. I'm such a grammar son of a bitch. Yes, day by day. That's how I look at getting through not giving into my sugar cravings. Day by day, one day at a time. Yes. And you can do that with just about anything.
My kryptonite is chips. I love me some chips. Oh, great. Good. Oh, sorry. For my Scottish friend who's still listening, maybe, it's called crisps over here. So they call them crisps because they're dumb. Chips. You fish and chips. There you go. I love Chad knows I love that saying too. Make shit in one hand and wish in the other and see which one fills up first. Yep.
I know you were asking, Chad. I know where you were going. I'm just saying, visually, you didn't get there.
Brody's like, I hate you guys so much. Why do I even come here?
It's like a car crash. You can't look away.
And what Tex just said, he's right. You're allowed to have a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, like that's why, like if when I say to Kim, if she's like, do you want a snack? I'm like, I would like a small bag of like Lay's original chips. Small. And then she brings home a big one. And then she's like, well, just don't eat it all. I'm like, if I had willpower, would I look like this? I didn't get this swimmer's body by having control of what I eat. Like, good Lord.
Well, Brody, at least you could admit there was a problem. That's the first step.
At least you got there. I feel that at least you got there. So that's expanding as a person and not in your belly this time.
I had a pretty crappy sleep last night as well, and Nick and I did not talk about this off show. It's just one of those coincidences that happen every once in a while. My sleep was trash last night, but I woke up early and I thought, you know what? Even though I'm up before the alarm goes off, I'm going to prepare for the gym anyway. And I took a little bit more time. And even though I found with me, if I don't get close to a proper amount of sleep, my workout is trash. It wasn't that bad this time. So there are little variations in what you do. If it's not great here, maybe it'll be better here. Sometimes you don't know.
All right, I'm going to go back up here. What about the guy who sits on the couch and thinks about going? No, it doesn't count. Okay, can we move on now? Just Chad, just say no, it doesn't count. Okay? Because then you're those 600-pound life guys that are like, I can't figure out where I went wrong. Can I have 7 quarter-pounders, 20-piece McNugget, extra large milkshake, and 2 large fries? Hey, do you guys want anything? Because that's what they say.
Okay, back to Brody's comment. What about the guy who sits on the couch and thinks about going, Chad? That's all you needed. That's all I'm saying. I know I'm harping on it because it's just a comma. And no, this is not English class. But what if it is English class?
What if it is English?
Yeah. Going, Chad. So, because without the comma, it looks like, think about going Chad. Chad being the verb, as opposed to Chad being the person to whom you're asking the question, which prompts the whole mess of words before the name Chad.
Okay,
So,
time out.
Comma.
Did Brody just ask Chad out? Is that what he was getting at? Maybe
There's
we're
nothing
reading
wrong.
this wrong. Maybe
There's
we're
nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
No.
Maybe we're reading it wrong. Maybe Brody loves Chad and is asking him out, and we just Brody, we're sorry. Do we need to set some mood lighting for you and light a candle?
I needed to know that.
Oh, okay. So maybe he doesn't love Chad. Okay.
I did that. Oh, Jesus. I think I did that once, but it was not after landscaping. It was after being with the moving company. I think I did that once. I know I've done it a few times with the moving company. This was in my 20s. I can't do that anymore. What's Casey? I bet he repeats it in his sleep.
Like, you watch these guys, the food that they eat on that show is just, oh my goodness.
Ooh. Yeah, if you don't have taste in over half your mouth, then what's the point of eating those foods?
Yeah.
Yeah, the foods that used to give you, as Joe Rogan would call it, mouth pleasure.
Yes.
Going Chad means you're going to do something. Yeah.
You know, and like Brody's comment there, can you imagine like people trying to learn our stupid language? You're just like, oh my goodness. I feel bad for when people are trying to learn English for their second language. Oh, great googly moogly. Look at even Elma, whose second language is Mexican, is English, is like, even she's like, okay, I don't even know.
Okay, so Alma, this is where you go off on a rant against Brody, and you got to do it at, double speed in Spanish only for a minute. That would be awesome. And then we'll play it really loud, and we'll play that at double speed. Yeah, the way Brody talks is disgusting, isn't it? Bigger? No,
poor Brody. Yeah, I used to when I worked at Boker, we worked 10-hour days, and I go to the gym after work. I'd go at 5:30. I'll agree with that, Brody. Yeah. The ones that do get me in those shows are when you get the people like, your diet doesn't work, but meanwhile the guy last week like weighs like 175 pounds now. Right? Like,
do it, Alma. Do it. Spelt. I'm going to let that one go. I'm just messing with it.
So, my favorite Spanish thing is when Eddie Murphy's talking about listening to, or was it watching? What was he talking about? He's talking about like Ricky Ramiro or whatever is cursing at Lucy. Remember, he's like, you're like, yeah, Ricky cursed the bitch out. Or Desi. Yeah, Desi starts cursing Lucio in Spanish, like, like, yeah, I cursed the bitch out.
Now, Dad makes an interesting point. Getting up at the same time every day, I don't know if that's just subconscious or if it's set to an alarm. That is a key point of consistency as well. But it also depends on what time you go to bed the night before. Something to do with perhaps your natural sleep cycle. And Bolo makes a good point. Too much working out is not good. Absolutely right. You stress your body out to a point where you suffer from exhaustion, you collapse, you exacerbate health problems. Yeah. 3 spelling.
I'm agreeing too. So I don't know if we want to get into this now, but I feel like we need to. I'm actually shocked we didn't talk about this right away. And I know I sent you a thing, but this just happens to be here right now. Is this picture? I know I sent you a picture of this. So last weekend, not this weekend, past week before, there was a young man, and I'm sure most people saw this, that was at a Chiefs game, KC, and had his picture taken, and he had half a blackface. Well, this woke African-American commentator wrote how the NFL needs to deal with this and this racism because he's got blackface on. The kid's wearing the colors of the team. This is that virtual signaling bullshit that is wrong with our world right now. And again, I didn't read too much into this, but I saw a few websites that reported this is true. Then people started about the headdress. This kid is half Native American. His father is Native American. And what else is funny when you start reading the comments, and for the most part, there are a lot of Native Americans going, I don't have a problem with this. Like a lot of them. There's some, of course, and just like everybody, but for the most, I was just scrolling through comments, and most of the comments are, "I don't have a problem with this." This is the stuff, and I should go find that, and I'll let Alex speak on this. That is destroying is just separating us more and more every day. This kind of bullshit. And this is the woke culture that just goes after anybody for anything. I will find that article because I did send it to you.
Yeah, I thought you were going to show that picture of him walking, so it's the side profile.
There we go. Okay, I got it.
The black part only.
Okay, so this is the I should have shown this first. So this is, of course, where right here. So this is what it looked like. But even then, even if his face was all in black, do you think he's doing it to be racist?
He's in front of how many thousands of people right now?
You think that, of anybody that's going to do it, this kid's going to do it at a football game? Like, please, give me a break. And then the next one. Yeah, and then here's the picture.
The picture on the left, where you only see the side profile of him, that reminds me of a series of 3 pictures that was taken of Prince William when he had just gotten out of a car, and I think he was doing this, but there was a camera from the side, and it looked like he was doing that. So, you know, yeah. So perspective is important.
Yes. Are you playing any of the videos that I've played you? Or that I sent you for like stupid people or any of that stuff? Or did you have your own selections?
I had my own.
Okay, I want to play this video for everybody if it'll work.
Okay.
Because I sent Alex a couple videos, and like these are the things on the internet that I love so much. I don't know if I can make it big. I don't know with Instagram, because it's on Instagram, if I can make it bigger. But giggity. Okay. All right. Instagram, sure. Okay. It didn't work. Then there's no volume. Oh, that's why. Okay, let's try again.
And a smiley face.
Oh, I got to start all over again. Sorry, we got lots of technical stuff here. Here we go. Oh, I stopped sharing it. I'm fired.
Yes, you are. Brody? No.
You're up, Brody. Okay. Yeah, let's just go like this. And then, what if I go like this? Does this work? No? Ah, this is so lame. Now finally I'm doing everything. That's so dumb. We're very high tech here, people. Very. All right. Let's try this again. All right. Volume on.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Dad, a girl texted me, hey, and a smiley face.
How many Y's?
3.
She wants the dick!
It's so stupid.
And I got the best part of that, and I clipped it already, so I don't know when and where we can use this, but if it ever happens...
She wants the dick!
Say that every time Red comes into the room.
Whoa!
Now...
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You could be, but if you're going to be our correspondent, that means you're going to be up like till 10 o'clock, and that's way past your bedtime.
Yeah.
What other funny ones?
You know what? That's not a bad idea. If we had Brody, I don't know, Skyping in, and he's sitting on the bed and he's got his phone like right here, and he's just munching on chips and he's trying to say something, and crumbs are going all over the screen and the camera, and then we just cut from there. That'd be awesome. Be an avalanche of crumbs and Brody going.
Okay, one more video and then we'll get on to our videos that Alex always has for us. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Policing
Oh, God.
in 2023.
Just violently attacked
By her.
by her. We were just arguing. She used offensive and violent language that violated my rights as an individual.
You all right, love? Keep going. Go. We've zapped 3 of them this morning. They're everywhere today.
Pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
It's 7 p.m.? No. 7 a.m.
What? Wait. Oh, wait. Are you in Canada? Wasn't she supposed to be on like the East Coast?
It's
wait.
7 p.m. here where I am on the West Coast in British Columbia.
Are you drunk again, Red?
Her grammar and spelling look pretty good, so
So
I'm...
yeah, maybe not.
Huh.
Are you in California?
We give you a voice. That's your price.
Yeah. Shut up, Brody. Like hell you will, Brody. Right? In the high desert.
Oh, wow. She's in the U.S. Nice. Good for you. In the high desert. Oh, man. You're closer to text than ever before. You better look behind you.
Fight.
Yeah. IRL. Pizza. Yeah. Yeah, New York pizza. Apparently it's really good over there.
So I've heard.
And getting, sworn at as a way of saying hi is apparently what the locals do.
Here, I'm gonna here, guys. Here. One more, and then we'll let Alex do his videos.
People paid money to see him.
Read the bottom.
Wow.
It's sad and true. Ugh. All right. Okay.
You know what, Regret? I think you got a point. I think you would.
Yeah, you probably would too. Yeah. All right. Let's watch. All right, Mr. Alex, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So, as I like to do, stupid people. So, I want to tell you about a guy who has a YouTube channel, and it'll come up momentarily. I swear it's not my computer, it's me, being unprepared as I sometimes am. This guy, come on, people are waiting, let's go. This guy's name is Mark Weed. I like to look at the dysfunction in society and try to make it enjoyable. I like you already, Mark.
I appreciate your work, Mark Weed.
So please subscribe to Mark Weed. And the reason I say that is because I'm going to play a section of one of his videos. No warning shots either, bullets. They're not expensive if you buy them from Walmart, though, right? Or did the liberals take them all away? Is that better, though? Nick, where do you stand on the Domino's versus Pizza Hut debate?
If I have to eat one of the two, it's definitely Pizza Hut all day. But that being said, I'm trying to keep away from pizza now, so I would be the one who would rather eat chicken wings now if I'm going to eat that instead. So,
because I'm not signed in, Brody, and as Frank said, we've got to support each other as small content creators.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we learned something. If you're looking for rip rounds, don't go to Walmart. This has been your Texas moment of the show. All right. So this guy, he did this.
Bring you Bike Lane Degenerates Part 1.
And I'm muting that because of music, but you get where this is going. Bike lane, and he taps. Ooh.
Bike lane.
Ooh.
What's that?
Knock on my fucking car. Next time, you just pull up to the window and say something. Don't knock on my shit.
Why are you endangering people's lives with your... This machine kills 40,000 people.
On my fucking shit, bitch.
Why is misogyny called?
I remember Martin Lawrence being a lot funnier.
Let me tell you something. Before you start fucking with somebody, you better ask yourself what the fuck they're going through.
So what about you fucking with bicycle traffic?
Okay, this bike guy is a fucking prick. He's totally antagonizing this guy. He could have just gone around him.
This is a piece of infrastructure designed to save the lives of human beings.
Bitch,
when you block it...
Look, bitch, I'm getting ready to move my car, so you better leave me the fuck alone.
I really appreciate you not breaking the law. That's a basic expectation of living in a...
fucking car.
Good.
So leave me the fuck
Excellent.
alone.
Get on it. Let's go.
So, pause.
Yeah.
This is the these are the people who, as kids, didn't get punched in the face enough.
By other kids, you mean, right?
By other kids, yep.
Yes.
Because if this guy doesn't hit him, I'm going to say bravo, sir. Because, yeah, you're completely picking at this guy now. Because it's in America. You know full well if this guy tees off on this prick that he's going to get charged. And this guy on the bike knows it.
Yes, and that's why the guy in the orange, he stands there, I think, weighing his options. He's really, having a back and forth in his mind about this.
Yep.
He wants to punch him in the face so fucking bad.
Are you experiencing some toxic masculinity right now, sir?
Oh my...
See, he's just needling him.
Yep.
My God. Come on. This guy has gone dark.
Your dog's very cute, sir.
See, I agree that the dog's cute, but he didn't have to say that.
He wants to back up so bad. Disabled man scolded.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yes, Mark Weed on YouTube.
So I will give that gentleman props. Because, yeah, and that's the problem, Tex. That is the problem these days, is that there's too many people who are not finding out the find out part. Because most of us as rational adults probably would have run around, and I will probably admit I would have went by and went, fuck you. That's probably what I would have done. Honestly. I'll say that right now. I probably would have, fuck you. But I wouldn't, don't touch another guy's vehicle.
True. Now, I'm not going to take either side because the guy should not have been parked in the bike lane. And true, Brody, the cyclist could have gone around. But if the cyclist doesn't say something, is the driver going to do that in the future? So somebody has to say something at some point in time, but he didn't have to say it like that,
Okay, my turn now. Okay, so every time, and we can all attest to this. So then every time, and under your logic, when one of these butt dumplings go through a stop sign without properly stopping, then we should be able to pull off, stop them, and chastise them because you're not following the rules of the road, and somebody could get killed because you're dumb.
Yes, I agree. And I've seen that many a time.
Yeah, and I bet in Vancouver you see it all. Like, we see it a lot here. I can imagine how much you see it there. But We have one guy in town here that he's on a motorized bike, and I don't know how many times I've seen him almost get smoked because he just blows through intersections. So there was actually an incident where a guy blew through an intersection and he ran into a car, and the officer gave the guy on the bike a ticket because he didn't come to a complete. He blew through the stop sign and ran into the side of the car.
Good on him for getting a ticket. Yes.
And so that's what should happen. That's, fine. If that's the way that guy feels, then I say it as every person in a motor vehicle then has the right to say to every bike butthole, if they really want to, hey, you're supposed to stop here. Now I'm going to screw your day up because you didn't stop properly. When you literally could have went around. So, all right.
Yeah, that's the thing. In this day and age, you do something like that, you get charged. Yep.
I will say this, and it bugs me. One of my favorite, probably my favorite podcast, Jim Cornette, talks a lot of smack about how he'd F people up. But he's the first one to say, yeah, we'll see how rich you are if you touch me. Right? Like...
Yeah, it's true. The response does not dictate assault. Like with the cyclist doing the rapping, the knocking on the back of the car, I don't think there was any damage to the car. It's the principle of the thing. If Tex is going to say that, and I would almost agree with that. So the cyclist didn't have to do that. If he did not damage the car in any way, okay, but he's not really justified in doing that. There are other ways to get the attention of a driver in that particular instance.
Right.
So he instigated the situation in the entirely wrong way. The cyclist did. And I'm going to play this one just because it's been sitting around for a while. This is just outside Miami.
Get out there.
I don't know how fast he's going, but it's
too fast.
It's a decent amount of speed.
Yep. Both of them, the car and him.
Interesting thing about that car.
It's a cop.
Nah, there's no way that's a cop, bro. Whoa, what are you doing, bro? Oh, maybe it is. Shit. Why
he's going 80 miles per hour.
What are you... What are you doing, man?
What was that cop thinking? I'm sorry, like, he's cruising, but what was that officer, like, what did he think was going to happen?
Yeah. Trying to brake for the guy on the bike to try and brake at that speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see at this point, the car puts on its brake lights, perhaps as a warning to slow down. But he gives him, 3 seconds? 4, 5 before he puts the lights on? No.
But what? Okay, I need to know what interstate they're on and what's the speed limit.
This is just outside Miami. I think this is going south. So the one on the left says south to Miami.
Okay. I can't see the interstate number, though.
Me neither.
So.
But I didn't see anything. Yeah.
Okay, but you want to know what? God, I wish 2018 Brody and this Brody would have a conversation. Because I know what 2018 Brody be saying right now. I'm thinking 70. I'm thinking 70, 75. Because I know some interstates in Texas are 75. Maybe 80. Are there any that are 80 Tex? I can't remember. Like outside San Antonio, is it Interstate 10? Outside San Antonio?
80
yeah.
highways.
Yeah, okay.
And different perspective, interstates are 70 to 75 outside city limits. That's pretty good. Do you know off the top of your head what the conversion rate is between miles and kilometers at that speed?
120 kilometers is 70.
Okay.
I believe.
That's a decent rate of speed.
Just going to click it right now. Whoa, only 112. 70.
Oh.
So 5 would be 120. 75 is 120. So yeah, that's us. Yeah. Oh, I'm agreeing. Well, yes, because you're not leaving the proper space behind. And really, if you think about it, when you watch the video, he does look down and then look up. So he wasn't, and maybe that officer was trying to get to an accident or something. And that's, we don't know the whole story.
Yeah, we don't. So. But just the fact that happened.
All right,
now
what's next?
We're done with one set of stupid people. However, now this one I have titled Old Man and Karen at Drive-Thru. I don't remember exactly what this entails. Oh, wait a minute. This is a joke. I think this is a pastor talking to his congregation, but I think it's worth listening to.
Years old. I was in the McDonald's drive-thru this morning. The young lady behind me leaned on her horn and started mouthing some ugly things because I was taking too long to place my order.
Considering his pace of delivery, I can understand why.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to the first window, I paid for her order along with my own. The cashier must have told her what I had done, because as we moved up, she leaned out her window and waved to me as she began mouthing, thank you, probably feeling embarrassed that I had repaid her rudeness with kindness. When I got to the second window, I showed the server both receipts, and I took her food too. Now she has to go back to the end of the queue and start all over again. Don't blow your horn at old people. We've been around for
I've heard that before. Yeah, I've heard that before. So if that is true, that is. If he actually did that, bravo, sir.
I had not heard that before.
I've heard that joke before on Facebook.
He's going.
Can you imagine him and Mitch McConnell in an argument?
A new president would be elected by the time they finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth. Yes. I think he set it up very well, despite that probably not being an original joke of his. Maybe it was. Maybe he came up with it when he was 30, and he waited 50-something years to use it. Maybe.
Right. All right.
Ooh, yeah.
One
more.
One more. All right. Let's do her.
Yeah. Giggity. So this one I have titled Starbucks Karen number 555 this month. And I found this one yesterday. So some stuff has already happened before the video started.
Yeah.
So just for context, the kid to her right is her son. Do you remember 2 years ago when I played a male Karen video? I think the guy was in a home hardware, or it was a hardware store, and he was cussing out someone. And then his kid comes in, picks him up, and carries him out of the store.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't care. You think I'm scared of a 5-year-old woman? I wouldn't do it.
That poor kid.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
I wonder how many times he's had to do that.
I can just imagine.
So shout out to this person on TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that comment to Brody's. I'm in shock. The screaming and cursing didn't get her what she wanted.
I know, right?
No. Was that over cream cheese? Probably that, and an entire breakfast order, which she told the manager, who looked like he was in his early 20s, fuck you. So at what point do you think you're going to be served, ma'am? Yeah. You know, I haven't seen the Marvels yet. That's why I haven't watched the Harsh Truth review of the Marvels, but I could just imagine Tex sitting back with his arms folded saying, bullshit. And Tex, what did you think of it? It was bullshit. Tex, what did you think of the cast? Bullshit. What about the plot? What were some of your favorite moments? Bullshit and bullshit. I like the part where it ended and the credits came up. Yep. Yeah.
I don't know what video this is, CJ. So it's Calgary. Just watching the teddy bear toss right now. And so what happens is the first goal of the game, everybody's allowed to throw a teddy bear out onto the ice. And they just cover it for like underprivileged youths. You just see it's so awesome. All these teddy bears were just flying. It's great stuff. So, anyways, you got anything else, or is that it?
I think that's it.
All right.
I would like to see that, Tex. Hour and 45 of nothing but that. I'd be pleased. I'd give it 2 thumbs up.
It's because you guys are sexist pigs, and you're part of the patriarchy, and you're what's wrong.
I love this idea of the patriarchy. It's like the Illuminati. You know, we don't know who's in it, but apparently it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Ooh, the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Although the patriarchy is more a mindset than it is an actual shadowy evil group. So you can just point at someone and label them the patriarchy, and apparently you're
exactly. Right. Yep. Okay, so my music selection is from a band called Mastodon.
Ooh.
From 2021, from Hush and Grim, song number 4, More Than I Could Chew. Love it. And thank you again, Cole, for that song. It was awesome.
Wow.
Okay, you popped me, Brody.
Brody's quick capsule review.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice pair of tits.
And out of all the movies that I watched in the past 7 days, which was probably 20 or close, this one, while not being the best movie, it didn't wow me. It did disturb me quite a bit. It's called 14 Cameras. the main actor who is pictured here, he looks the part, he acts the part. He was great. Now, the movie itself is quite disturbing, especially the way this main character acts. So, if there's anything to take away from this film, it's be very, very careful about renting out Airbnbs or anything like that. It's got a 4.6 on the IMDb, so maybe not a great film, but again, quite disturbing. So Tex is probably going to rub one out to something like this because of how disturbing it is. And good for you, Tex. Not trying to kink shame.
Brody. I was actually going to text Brody the other day and say, guess what I'm talking to? Because me and Mr. Gregory had about a 2.5 hour texting conversation. So that's my cousin. Pretty good country singer. So
we need a clubhouse.
The He-Man Woman Haters Club.
You know, I think those still exist in some places. It's called the lunchroom at a sawmill.
No, yes, no, and yeah, no, it's any lunchroom, I think. Where it's a heavy male presence, I think.
I saw it.
I have not yet. I should watch it because I did like the first two. How was it?
It was decent. It's, I guess, a good bow wrap ending to the trilogy. In my mind, it's not as good as the first, but it's all right. It's got some really good landscape shots of this little town in Italy that they shot in. So there's that.
Okay.
No, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Ryan's all about that.
I'm all about where I'd wear a no ma'am shirt in a heartbeat.
And you'd get canceled.
Would you, though?
Maybe that should be a debate for next week. And we should wear the shirts and be like, are we going to get canceled for this? What could go wrong? Doesn't everyone have a sense of humor anymore? I mean...
That's a legit question. You know.
Yes. And I liked Dial of Destiny. I thought it was decent entertainment. Definitely not as good as Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Last Crusade. Definitely not. But I digress.
Fuck. Excuse me. Okay. Well, you guys, thank you for sticking around for the show. We love you guys. And yeah, we'll be back next week. And then, yeah, like it's we discussed already, it's still a month away, but we will be taking Christmas off. And I love doing this show, but I'm actually looking forward to 2 weeks of not having to really plan anything, especially the first week in January. I'm on holidays. I am really looking forward to, like, my biggest responsibility is going to be finding the will to go to the gym.
Maybe that's the better way to go, just for 1 week to sleep in, to not have a plan and stick to it. Maybe, I can't remember who said it in the chat earlier. Sometimes breaking from that. Oh, I think it was Tex. He was talking about food, going off the beaten path every once in a while is okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm trying to eat better now because I know once the holiday comes around, especially that because my mom and dad are going to be here for that week of holidays for a good part of it. We're not going to eat the super greatest, so it's okay. Like, you really dial it in now because it's holidays are coming, and there's always snacky food in the lunchroom because we always get donations and stuff, right? Like for the work we do around town and whatnot. So, but
you're going to work on yourself, bro.
You are going to enjoy time with your boys and your beautiful wife. That's what you're going to do if you're not up north. But I don't know with your schedule. If you're going to New York, you're going to enjoy family time if you're home.
And speaking of which, thank you to everyone who was here tonight, including Jolene, Dad, Brody, Kelly, Alma, Chad, Casey, Bolo, Big Red, Tex, and Ryan. People who we haven't seen in a while. Hanama, Overseer, Penny, Jen, Tamara, Sarah, my friend Sarah, and Sarah May. Where was she? Corey, both Trevors, both Cindys, both Jolenes. Not that the Jolene who was here, the other two.
I think that Reese has ringette tonight, I believe.
Ah.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
He's at work that week. Oh no. Oh well.
Oh no, brown cow. So
yeah, we'll end on kind of a
yes.
note,
Okay.
I guess.
Bye guys. Love you.
Take care.
Oh shit. Hit my mic.
Think before you say something. Think before you do something. Say your piece. Say it.
Bye.
Say it. You don't want the people to love each other this week.
I said
Come
that
on,
once
man.
or twice. Love each other, suck each other's nipples, make it a good week.
Okay. Good night.
You guys ever have ice cream that's too cold to stick a spoon in? Here's a little life hack. It's too frozen to stick the spoon in. First, you want to put the spoon in the microwave and then put it for like around a minute. And then while that's in the microwave, you want to...